Welcome to the Q-Consultation Video Demo. In this video, we will familiarize you with a web application for teleconsultation. Do you own a healthcare health tech organization and you wish to connect your healthcare providers with patients? Alternatively, are you part of an HR recruitment organization that wants to connect HR managers with workers? Maybe you aim to connect bank managers with their clients or sales managers with their prospects. Whatever the case, whenever you need to establish online connections between different parties, the Q-Consultation application is here to help you get started quickly and effectively. Q-Consultation is a web application that offers secure and instant peer-to-peer chat messaging and video calling. It comprises three main components: provider application, client application, and QuickBlocks backend. Currently, we are on the provider application's login page. To access the provider application, providers must be pre-created via the QuickBlocks admin panel by an administrator or through our API. You can explore our API by clicking on the link provided at the bottom of the screen. We will also include the link in the video description. By default, providers are authorized using their email and password. However, the authorization method can be modified to use login and password, phone number verification, authorization via API, or any third-party authentication service depending on your business needs. The same is for the client web application. Once logged in, the provider is navigated to a dashboard where on the left side is a live queue tab. It's a list of clients who are currently waiting for provider assistance. And a schedule tab where the provider will find a list of scheduled appointments. On the right side, there is a panel with instruments to manage communication with a client. About tab, to see the client's info, check the client's request, manage notes about the current consultation, and review video records done during the video call with a client. Chat tab, for a peer-to-peer chat with the client that allows sending text messages, sending files like images, doc, PDF, video, audio, and so on. And History tab, to review previous consultations with this client. The provider can also change the client's priority to low, medium, and urgent, which will help the provider better allocate their time and provide due attention to critical requests. How do clients get to a provider's live queue? There are several options. The first one is the Share Link feature. The provider can share a link to a personal profile via SMS or any comfortable messenger like WhatsApp, or paste it to an email. The link contains the client's application address, the page where to navigate the client in the app, and the provider's ID, which is a QuickBlocks user ID. Following the link, the client will first be asked to authorize in the system and then will appear on the provider's profile page where the client can initiate a conversation with the provider by tapping on the Start Chat button and will join a waiting room in this way. Another way is when the client follows the direct link to the client application without any route. In this case, the client will appear on the main screen where we'll see a list of all providers existing in the application. We'll be able to choose a corresponding provider from the list and start a chat conversation as well. One more option to access the provider's live queue is to start a scheduled appointment available under the My Upcoming Appointments section on the main screen or My Appointments page. In the virtual waiting room, the client has a chat where they can send text messages and different files, can edit the consultation topic to extend the provided information while waiting for the provider's response, and leave the waiting room, which will finish this appointment for both sides. Now we will return to the provider application. Here, you will find our client in the live queue. Let's select the client and start a video call. The video call can only be initiated by a provider to ease the burden on the provider and avoid concurrent calls from clients. When starting the call, the client will see the incoming call screen and can choose to accept or decline it. On the call screen, the client can mute/unmute their microphone, turn their camera on/off, share their screen, switch to full screen mode, and end the call. On the provider side, in addition to the aforementioned options, the provider can also record the call. The recording will be saved in the list of video records and can also be accessed in the appointment's history. In case the client requires further assistance from a different specialist, The provider can always reassign this client to the appropriate provider. This will move the client from the first provider's live queue to the destination provider's live queue. Once the consultation is complete, the provider can finish the appointment and submit a summary providing the client with appointment highlights, describing further steps, or some recommendations for the client. The client will be able to download this summary as a PDF file. The summary will also be available in the history, and the client will always be able to review and download it later. As you may have noticed, there is an opportunity to schedule appointments. This can be done by both sides, providers and clients. Initially, the provider needs to set up their personal work schedule. This includes defining working days, business hours, appointment duration, time zone, and a list of holidays that will be automatically marked as days off. To schedule an appointment, the provider should click on the Create option on the page header and choose Appointment from the drop-down. On the scheduling page, the provider will be able to create an appointment for themselves or for another provider. Choose a corresponding client. Choose appointment day and time, and specify the topic of the appointment. The client will be able to schedule an appointment when choosing a provider on the main screen. Click on the Schedule button, choose a day and available time slot. Enter consultation topic. And create. Providers also have the ability to create a guest user for a one-time consultation. This will free the client from the authorization step. For this, the provider needs to click on the Create option on the page header, choose Guest User from the drop-down, enter a client's full name, and send the link to a client via SMS or share it via Messenger or paste it into an email. The link will contain a user session, so when the client follows the link, they will be directly taken to the waiting room to start the conversation. This type of client will only have access to the waiting room for the one-time consultation. That's all for now. If you would like to have a live demo and learn more details about the Q-Consultation application possibilities, you may submit a request via the link below. And our sales team will gladly guide you through your questions. Cheers!